Hi everyone. So today I'm going to be doing a collective haul as well as review on a small business based out of California called sugarmamafragrances. I believe the shop owner's name is Monique. And I did a total of 4 orders, which I was really thinking I was going to love this shop. Kind of spoiler, I got a lot of hits and misses, so I don't plan to shop from this particular Etsy shop anymore, but I will go ahead and finish the items that I have. So first order, I really went full steam ahead, but it came in this box right here. Since I placed the second, third, and fourth order around the same day, I think it was just one day apart, maybe a few hours apart, she decided to ship everything all in one box, which is pretty good because I feel like it was more secure than the first one. Okay, so let's go over the first order. I got a total of 3 items. One was a body oil. For the body oils, you can make it either lightly scented, regularly scented, and strongly scented. If you do get strong, you have to pay a little bit more. So I got strong and it was $15.25. I also got a body mist, the alcohol version. You can also get the hydrating version, but since I got alcohol, it was $14.95. As well as a full-size perfume, and I believe her perfumes come in 2 ounces, and that is $30. So subtotal $60.20, less a discount. Ooh, I had a discount. Okay, less $3.01. Subtotal $57.19 plus tax, which is $5.43 tax, and then plus shipping. The shipping is pretty expensive. It was $9.20, so my order total came out to $71.82. However, I want to make a note that on her shop, it says that if you spend over $100, that your shipping gets refunded. Now, I have no idea how that works. So maybe if you plan to order $100 the first time, which I don't know about that, I would probably message Monique first and then ask how that would work. I didn't notice that initially, but it's in the first page of her shop. All right. So she included a lot of these very pretty pink tissue papers that I'm going to reuse. And the only thing that I didn't like about how this one was particularly shipped is that there was a lot of empty space. So if you look at it, there were no kind of like fillers in here. By fillers, I mean like bubble wrap, packing paper, peanuts. So it's really prone to getting busted, I guess. So I did have some leaks, not a lot, but that's something to note, that if you only get a few items, it could be that the box is going to be a little bit shaken up. All right, so let's go on to this one. I forgot what it was, but yeah, these containers, I don't kind of like them just because I feel like while they protect the items a little bit, I feel like a box would be slightly better. And if you can see right here, I did have a leak. All right, so, before I go on to show you the items, I do want to make a note that in her packing slip, so there we go, it says that, thank you for your order from Sugar Mama Fragrances. Your items were freshly made just for you. Please allow some time for the quote-unquote maceration process to work its magic. This is a special period where the fragrances in your products develop and straighten, much like how a fine wine matures. Over the next 2 to 3 weeks, you'll notice the scents becoming richer and more captivating. We promise it's worth the wait. And it says, as your products will only get better with age. All right, so I received this mid-February. So it has been 2 to 3 weeks. I want to say my oldest order has been macerating. I don't know if that's the correct term, for over 3 weeks. And then my second order, it has been over 2 weeks. All right, so let me go ahead and show you this one and then tell you my thoughts. All right, so, Dulce de Leche. So this was the one that I got. This is the alcohol version. And if you can see, I've already been using it. So I did let it macerate, but I have been using it before it was fully 2 to 3 weeks and then afterwards. So this one, I initially thought that I was going to get more of a, I guess, a cajeta type of a feel. I'm from Mexico, or my parents are. So we don't really call it dulce de leche. There are some differences. For example, the milk used in dulce de leche, I think it's traditionally a cow's milk. And then the one for cajeta, I believe, is goat's milk. And then I think there's a difference in the type of sugar used as well. Typically for dulce de leche, you use just white granulated sugar, or like piloncillo or something. And then I think for cajeta, you use brown sugar. But I do want to say that this smells very delicious. I have it on my right arm. I can still smell it. It's very sweet. However, it does kind of lean a little bit vanilla caramelly, but I do like that there's like a deftness to it, and it's definitely really sweet and stuff. So I do recommend this one. This was one of the ones that I actually received a compliment from my coworkers, two of them actually. I want to say that I don't know if I become nose blind to dulce de leche, but when I initially used it the first time, my sister couldn't smell it. So I sprayed myself about 4 times, which for me, I think for body mist, I spray more, but that's with Bath and Body Works because they're kind of diluted, or they're not as strong as before. So I was hearing that these are really strong. So I did 4 sprays. My sister couldn't smell me. Then again, she doesn't like vanilla, caramel, mapley scent. She's not the biggest fan of. So it could have been, that was the reason. And then when I went into work, or after that experience, I decided to spray myself a good 10 times with this. So I think that explains the little gap right there. So my work is about over an hour away, and my coworkers, when I went downstairs, I work on the second floor, they work on the first floor. My coworker was like, "Hey, do you have that cinnamon bread that you normally bring?" Sometimes my sister and I bring cinnamon bread. And I'm just like, "No, my sister just had coffee, but nothing like mapley or anything." And then that's when my other coworker came into the door, and she's like, "Oh, something smells good. Like, does someone have like caramel or some syrups?" And then I'm like, "Oh, well, maybe it's me." And I kind of like wafted my air towards both of them when I went downstairs, and they said, "Yep, that's you." So even though I personally can't smell this, I know other people can when I spray myself like 10 times. So I wouldn't necessarily consider this stronger than Bath and Body Works. I would say it's like a level, okay, it might be like a little bit stronger, but just only a level up. So when Bath and Body Works, let's say it's a light, this is light medium, or like medium, strong. All right. So that one I wouldn't repurchase, but I do like it. And I think I would recommend it if you like dulce de leche scents. Would I say it's super authentic? I would say for me, not really, because I don't really try dulce de leche. Once again, I try cajeta. So there's that. Okay. Second one. I want to say, okay, this one almost made me regret all my purchases altogether. All right, so we have the body oil, and I saw someone, I think on Instagram, she had the hair perfume version of this, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I think that was one of her top fragrances that she really loves. I do want to make a note though that this one came with a spray bottle initially, but another issue with this is that this nozzle gets really clogged, so it tends to, like, instead of it being a fine spray of the body oil, it kind of gets clogged and just like squirts out at you. So that's the thing. The packaging isn't the best. I would recommend a different format. So I think she has had people mention that. So that is why there is this little cap. I don't want to yeah, so there's a little cap. The consistency of this oil is very runny, very thin, similar to a dry oil. But when I tell you that the scent is very disappointing, I do not recommend this at all. And I got strongly scented. Whatever base oils are used, I don't know if it's like sunflower. Yeah, so right here it says it's jojoba oil, sunflower oil, coconut oil, olive oil, meadow seed, or meadow foam oil. This kind of reminds me of like when you're cooking and you're like, did I put the sugar, or did I put the salt in? And then you're like, I think I did. And then you just keep cooking. I feel like this is one of those, like, did I put the fragrance oil in? Let me just keep, making this. So I don't know what went wrong with this, but it doesn't smell nice, but I wouldn't go as far as saying that it smells bad. But I smell a lot of those like carrier oils, or the oils in the base. The one that smells the most, I would say it's maybe the sunflower oil. This kind of seems like I'm cooking in the kitchen, or I'm like marinating meat or something. It almost reminds me of like some vitamin C's. It has that metallic smell to it that smells a little bit like iron, like when you go outside and come back in. Yeah. So yeah, I was highly disappointed with this. I'm not even gonna lie. So I'm going to use this in the shower, maybe like as an in-shower oil, because even though this has been resting for over 3 weeks, it doesn't smell any better. It kind of just smells the same. If anything, maybe the oils are a little bit stronger, the oil smell, not the fragrance oil. So unfortunately, I don't get any caramel or vanilla. Maybe if I smell it from the cap, I can kind of see it, but I would personally recommend you not to get strong. Maybe this was the reason, or maybe the reason is because I chose the strong option. Maybe I would recommend to try, well, first a sample pack. There is a 3 sample pack for body oils. You can get, again, lightly, regularly scented, strongly scented. I'd recommend getting the sample pack and getting regularly scented instead of strongly scented. And this lasts, I think, a decent amount of time. It lasts for about a day. It's pretty hydrating. It absorbs onto my skin. It makes me feel silky smooth, but yeah, not worth it. So that was a disappointment there. Okay, another thing. The main reason I think how I found out about this brand is that a lot of people were raving about one specific scent, and so I'm like, oh, let me get it in the perfume since a lot of people really like it. I think the hype has died down a little bit, so you should be able to purchase this. And that is Bava Vanilla, and people said that it's like the perfect vanilla. Now looking back, I probably shouldn't listen to what other people say and stuff, because while I do like vanilla, I don't really like want to predominantly smell like vanilla. I feel like if I use vanilla, it has to be very sugary, very sweet, or I mix it with something else. So here's the 2-ounce perfume. I also want to say that this arrived leaking a little bit at the top right here. Out of all the 3 items that I purchased, this is the one that got even better over time. But then again, this is a perfume, so that kind of makes sense because you do that with other store-bought perfumes and stuff. So I really like this one. It's very sugary sweet. So I do want to say that this smells good, especially upon the first spritz in the first few minutes. However, this tends to lean a little bit like candle-like on my skin. I know my sister has commented on that. So like vanilla scented candles is what I'm trying to say. So I would only spray this on my clothing. I think that this is a scent that I would like to mix with other items instead of just wearing this by itself. But if I smell my wrist, it has gotten a bit sweeter and more sugary. So it just smells like vanilla on steroids or something. So while I think this is nice, I wouldn't repurchase it. And I think that it does lean a little bit vanilla scented candle-like, and it doesn't really project, or at least when I have worn this one, not a lot of people have commented on my scent. There wasn't an item that I purchased that I'm just like, wow, I'm going to buy this again and again. There is Monique's card, but I do want to mention that for the first order, she did include 2 samples. Not the second order because I think she said she was out of these little containers. So the samples that she gave me were Devil Foods cake and blueberry glaze. I know that this doesn't say croissant, so I don't know how to pronounce it. It seems like Croisnut. I'm not sure if that's an actual dessert or something, but let's go on to Devil's Food Cake. So I think just chocolate scents in general aren't really for me. It smells a lot like Devil's Food Cake mix before you bake it, but it does smell good. But I think just chocolate scents in general, I need to mix it with something else, like maybe chocolate covered cherries, which is the scent that I believe she does carry, or just chocolate and strawberries, just have it mixed with something else. But this one is super realistic. I would say it's very accurate. Unlike that caramel vanilla, I have no idea what went wrong with that scent. Okay, this one smells a little bit artificial, but I think blueberries tend to lean a little bit artificial, especially because this one is really sweet. So I think it's kind of like that cooked, almost like blueberries in a saucepan. Yeah, I don't get much of the whatever a Croisnut is. I don't really get a bready aspect to it, or even like a muffin or waffle, nothing like that. So I wouldn't purchase this in a full size, but I will go ahead and use the sample. So I think that is it for my first box. Let's go on to the second one. Again, like the other one, it came packaged with this really pretty pink tissue paper. This thing came on top. So for this box, it's a total of 3 orders. So first one, I got a hair perfume sampler. Comes with 3 scents you can choose. It retails $22.95. I also purchased the body oil samplers. You can choose any 3 scents. Again, I got strongly scented. So it came out to $23.25. And then the body mist sampler was the third, I guess, order included in the same box, $22.95. And then this one was the body mist that is alcohol based. I have thoughts on this. Okay, so let's go on to this very cute box. This is how the hair perfumes were packaged. I'm not sure why the hair perfumes got the very cutesy treatment and stuff. So first, let's go on to Creamy Center. So do you remember how I told you with the Bava Vanilla, it kind of leans a little bit like candle-esque, candle-like? This is definitely one of the ones that I don't think smells like the creamy center of an Oreos. This one smells the most like a candle to me. And I don't get a lot of the creamy center. I get mostly that dusting of the Oreo, but not necessarily it's like super accurate. So I went ahead and sprayed a little bit right here. And yeah, I think that this isn't really the scent for me. I think that there isn't a lot of creaminess to this that I like. And also I want to say that this packaging isn't the best. I think they need to be reworked, because this one, it kind of squirted out as like bleh instead of a fine mist. There are a lot of great reviews for Creamy Center, but I personally didn't care for it. So there's that one. Next one. Okay, Strawberry Jam. This was my favorite one out of all the bunch, but I do want to say that the packaging on this isn't great. Here, let me do a demo. This one actually leaked a little bit, so that's another reason why it's a little bit low. Okay. So you see how I have my hand there? I'm going to go ahead and spray. Do you see what happened? Like nothing's right here except for like these 2 little globs. And then around the rim, it's very wet. So if I go like this, my finger, you can see the hair perfumes on it. So unfortunately, while Strawberry Jam is my favorite one out of the bunch and lasts, I think, the second longest, the packaging itself is an issue. So I don't like it. I think that you're better off getting a body mist. The nozzle, I don't know if it's just effective or what, but to go on to the scent itself, Strawberry Jam, I would say that it smells slightly more like strawberry jelly. And I feel like other small business or small Etsy shop have used this particular fragrance oil. I don't know if it's like a bulk fragrance oil or what, but I have one from Lunar Life Apothecary. Here, let me go ahead and show you. I feel like they use the same fragrance oil. So this one, it's called Jelly Croissant, is what I'm trying to say. And I feel like the strawberry jelly note in here is similar to the strawberry jam note in here. I do want to say that this is slightly realistic, but it does smell like it has been sweetened. So it doesn't necessarily smell super authentic. It smells slightly sweeter than I would think strawberry jam is. So yeah, there's that one. This one lasted me, I would say, 8 hours. This one lasted me the whole day, unfortunately. And let's go on to the last one. The last one that I ended up getting was Lemon Meringue Pie. This one, unfortunately, only lasts about 4 hours. I do want to say, though, that it does make my hair feel hydrated, but I want to note that if I add a little bit too much, it tends to clump up my hair. It doesn't leave it with the residue, it just kind of makes it oily. So this one, I really like it. I think it's super authentic, and thankfully the packaging on this one is okay. Yeah, it's like a sugary sweet lemon. I don't get much of the pie. But overall, I wouldn't repurchase this because the stain power isn't the best. And since I'm not going to shop from this Etsy shop anymore, I would recommend, if you are interested in lemon meringue pie, to maybe purchase it in a body mist or a perfume to make it stronger. So there is the last hair perfume. Let's go on to the body mist. So I've never tried fresh beignets or beignets in general, but I do get a little bit of the cinnamony sugar in here. And I feel like this one does last the longest just because of that cinnamon base note that I think is present. I do wear this on my clothes. I don't spray it on my body, so I can't speak about the longevity for that, but this one lasted pretty much all day. I just don't really care for the scent. I should have known, but yeah, this one, I can't say if it's accurate or not, but I wouldn't repurchase it. Okay, next one we have is toasted marshmallow, and I do like this scent, but I want to say that this does not smell like toasted marshmallow. I feel like it just smells like a vague marshmallow that I can't pinpoint. There's nothing charred or toasty about it, so I think the name isn't super accurate. It does add a level of sweetness, and I can pair this with other scents, but again, I wanted a toasted marshmallow, so like not like a charred marshmallow, but I wanted slightly warmed, like gooey, something like that, and I don't really get that. I just get this indistinguishable sweetness that I think if I didn't know it was marshmallow, I wouldn't be able to pinpoint it. So I do like this, but I wouldn't repurchase it, and I don't think the name is accurate. Okay, last one for the body mist. I think it's the one that was the most disappointing, which was Glazed Donut. I have tried donuts before, but I just don't know what's up with this glazed donut scent. I don't really get a lot of that freshly baked donut. I don't get like the little slightly greasy undertone. I just get this kind of like artificial glaze, slightly almost soapy type of a smell. So yeah, this was pretty disappointing. I don't even know if this is considered sweet necessarily, but yeah, I just don't think that the scent name, glazed donut, or the scent of this is accurate at all. So I wouldn't recommend this one. Not even like the lemon meringue pie that didn't last a long time. I wouldn't even bother with this scent. Okay, last thing would be the body oils. So after I tried that caramel vanilla, I was super worried, but thankfully these are all winners. I have tried all of these, and I think my favorite one would be the bubblegum ice cream. Super accurate. I think there's a lot more bubblegum than there is ice cream. It kind of dries down to this like vanilla base with just a touch or like a sprinkle of bubblegum. If you like it, they last about, I would say, 5 or 6 hours. This one lasts the longest. And then these two last about the same. So we have brown sugar gelato and we have sugar cookie. So sugar cookie is pretty basic. I think everyone knows what that is. This one is brown sugar. Again, pretty basic. There's not like a big ice cream note to this, but it does smell nice. I want to say that if I were to purchase from the shop again, I would repurchase all of these scent notes. Brown sugar gelato smells awesome, sugar cookie smells awesome, and bubblegum ice cream. But I'm not sure if some of the scents are hit and miss depending on what form you get, or if it's just the scents themselves. But yeah, all of these, I really, really like them. They are slightly pricey, but there is that. Okay, and if you can see, there are extra caps in here, and that is for the body oils. Every time you order a body oil, Monique includes like this type of a, this isn't a pump, but this type of a cap. So I haven't had issues with these sprays, but when I use them, I pretty much use them on my legs. So it doesn't matter if it clogs up or anything. Okay, so to go over my purchases, my favorite purchase was the strongly scented body oil sample pack. Again, my favorite scent, bubblegum ice cream. Then it would be brown sugar gelato, and then it'll be sugar cookie. Sugar cookie is pretty, like a pretty easy universal scent, so that can't really go wrong. All these are good. Next, we have the body mists, which I think were pretty much all misses. I think my favorite, I don't even have a favorite one. The one that I liked the least was definitely this glazed donut. Then it would be probably fresh beignets. Then it would be toasted marshmallow. Toasted marshmallow didn't smell anything like a toasted marshmallow. Fresh beignet, I can kind of see it. Glazed donut, I don't know. I'm going to use this after the shower. So there's that. I don't recommend any of those scents. Last sample pack, we have the hair perfumes. I really liked lemon meringue pie, but that one didn't really last. And also, if I overspray it, at least on my hair, it tends to weigh it down and leave it greasy. So it's not recommended that you use these as body mist because of the ingredients, it tends to stain clothing. You can go ahead and lightly try it or try it on your body, but I think if you're going to get that, might as well get the hydrating body mist. So lemon meringue pie, really like the scent, doesn't last. Strawberry jam, really like the scent, it does last, but the pump has serious issues. Creamy center, I don't really like the smell at all. It smells a little bit candle-like, wouldn't recommend it. And there's not a lot of the creamy center, there's more of like that Oreo dusting, but it doesn't smell specifically Oreo-like. It just kind of seems like a knockoff Oreo cookie. So there are those. And then finally we have the full-size scents that I purchased the first time. Fava vanilla smells nice, but I think now knowing how the vanilla smells, I think I wouldn't get a perfume. I'd probably get a body mist instead. Dulce de leche. Oh, dulce de leche ice cream got me compliments, so I do like it. It does last. I think it doesn't project, and I tend to get nose blind to it. And then sadly, like, I think this one and the glazed donuts were probably like my worst purchases. Yeah, these are, no, this one's significantly worse. This one is just not my scent. Caramel vanilla smells nothing like caramel vanilla. I'm not sure what went wrong there. If it was like a fragrance oil that went wrong, maybe it wasn't put into this, but it just smells off. So yeah, that is my overall experience with Sugar Mama fragrances. Definitely, I think it's 50-50, a lot of hits and a lot of misses, and with minor kind of issues with certain items. Oh, I almost forgot. Free samples. Devil's Food Cake smells super accurate to a Devil's Food Cake, you know, like the Pillsbury 99 cents one. And then Blueberry Glazed Croisnut smells a lot like blueberry, not a lot like the baked good. Okay, so those are all my purchases from Sugar Mama fragrances. I honestly don't see myself purchasing from this Etsy shop anymore, which is kind of unfortunate, but I think that given the scents and the lot of hits and misses in my orders with the variety of scents, there's not one item that I'm like, oh, this is a holy grail product that I would purchase again and again, but they do have a lot of nice scents. I do want to make a note that she does have like a sampler set, which I highly recommend. Try not to go in blind buy like me, thinking that you're going to like everything and then you don't, and then you end up with product. But yeah, this was a nice kind of experiment, testing out small businesses. If I were to repurchase, which I don't see myself, I think I would go for the sampler set, probably the body oil sampler set, get it regularly scented so it would be slightly cheaper. Yeah, that's how I would pick my scents. Or I believe she also has little samples that I think are similar to the ones that she sent me. I think you get like 10 or something and it's for like $11, and it also has free shipping, so I definitely recommend that. Yeah, so let me know if you have any questions. This has been my experience with Sugar Mama fragrances. Okay, bye.